Satwik. Thank you for the lovely introduction. I can't really see everybody, I can only see you. So, yeah, I'll tell you a little more about myself before we begin. Is that I
Sure.
run a company since the past 2 years called Social Media Dissect, which is basically a platform where we showcase all marketing trends and marketing updates and what companies are doing and what brands are doing. What we did differently was found out brands that weren't, with large budgets and large campaign budgets, and we try to showcase what they are doing, and along with, of course, what else is happening in the marketing world. Because I saw there was a gap in that segment. And before that, I worked with another agency where I handled a lot of hospitality clients. So a lot of hotels in Bombay was what I was looking at. And yeah, today I'm going to tell you over the years of my experience how and what social media is basically from a broad aspect. What I want to start with telling y'all is that there is we always, like, you must have heard it 100 times, that content is king. And to tell you a little more about that, that's the most important part of hacking your social media growth. The number one thing that is going to stay with you through your content on any platform on any given day is what content you are putting on. So that is the most important aspect to look at when you're looking at social media. So there were, back in the day, there were, less users on every platform, and it was easier to get more organic traffic. But now what happens is that there's so many brands, so many individuals, and everybody is on all social media platforms, which is why it's more than ever important to make your content look good and stand out from the rest, so that audiences will know your brand. In that case, we have two kinds of content pieces that work really well. One is educational and one is entertainment. That works very well, and you need to find out what you want to talk about. If you post randomly on any social media platform, it's not going to get you anywhere, to say the least. So what we do is we never go out there. If you're looking at brand, or if you're looking at, yourself doing social media for yourself, what you have to keep in mind is that you need to have content prepared. You need to know what you are talking about before you actually put it out there. And not just putting content, but putting content that has some context, means people will be able to only relate to it if your content is good enough and for your audiences. Something else that we teach all the time is that to not create content that you want to create, but to create content that other people want to see, like your users want to see. That has become very important in the coming times. And it's because the whole social media environment is changing every single day. You have to keep learning to adapt what you want to do. So that is what I have to say for the content part of it. Now, other than content, there are three things that, since we're talking about hacking the social media growth, and it's something that we have consistently done for brands over the years, is that you have to obviously make sure that your content is very good. Secondly, that you pay attention on community, collaboration, and then conversion. So I'll deep dive a little bit into all of that before we start taking a few questions. When you talk about community, what I mean is, and I'm going to give you references of what I do and what I have done in the past. So when we started Social Media Dissect, it's not the number of followers that I have to reach, or how much money you have to make in the beginning, because you're not going to for a long period of time. What you have to pay attention on is to find people that want to do the same thing as you, are interested in the same thing as you, and want to engage with you because of what you are telling them. So to build a community around what you want to talk about is very important, and also having a niche is very important again. So what I mean by having a targeted niche is that if you are, for example, a travel blogger and you want to talk about travel because that's something you love doing, then what you need to pay attention on is that everybody can talk about travel, but that's very broad. So you have to niche down and choose your social media platform according to how you want to reach out to your audience and what you want to be known for in the field of travel. So, for example, you want to be a luxury traveler or a budget traveler, or if you want to be an Indian backpacker, there has to be some niche that you need to pick up on, that you are going to talk about. And that's going to make your social media grow very fast. Instead of doing all of travel in a whole. So that is something. And what happens is, so for example, if you are an Indian backpacker and you travel budget friendly across India, and that's what you want to talk about in your conversation with people on social media, what happens is everybody that's traveling in India or has traveled in India is going to be very interested in your content, rather than somebody across the world that does not ever travel to India. So that can be an audience that might not engage with you. So that's very important to niche down what you want to talk about. When we started Social Media Dissect, the whole core of the organization was to connect with marketers. So anybody that loves marketing or anybody that wants to learn marketing, students who are in the field of marketing and want to know what brands are up to or what is the latest campaign, that is something that we pay attention on. And in the beginning also, we didn't have a focus on, say, how many number of followers. It depends on what your quality of followers are. If you want to make business and you want to convert your audience in the later stage, it's very important that you pay attention on what you are talking and have a context of it and have a targeted set of people that are following you. A lot of people make this mistake that, oh, if I have like 100K and 500K, that's not how you make money. That's not how you convert your audience. What is more important is who is following you rather than your number of followers. So that is why community is very important. The other part of community is that what we do at Social Media Dissect is also care about the community, because there's somebody following you, following everything that you do and listening to you, which means that it's important that you address to them. So any social media platform, any growth you want on any social media platform, it's very important that you engage with your audience. If you engage with your audience, they will stick around for you to long enough be able to make this into a profitable, or whatever you are looking at, your objective is from your social media. So interacting and engaging with your audience, even if it is through LinkedIn, if that's what you decide. If there is Facebook that you're using, then groups on Facebook are a great way. We heavily focus on Instagram, and we reply to every single DM we get, every single comment we try to reply to, and that has built our community and engagement. And even this is for what we did at Social Media Dissect, but for all the brands that we have worked with. For example, there was this brand that I have consulted called the Face Shop India, and it's a Korean skincare brand. And when I worked with them, I paid attention to what people's concern was, why are they following us, and how to address that concern for them to stick around on our platform. Because you're tired of seeing everybody holding a lipstick and holding a cream and telling you to buy it. That's not what you do on social media if you want to scale and if you want to grow. What you need to do, and what I did at that time, was I said, okay, it's a skincare brand, okay, and a lot of people have a lot of skincare concerns. So how am I going to address that for them to stick around and follow me for a long time? So we did a lot of campaigns and a lot of posts that talk about, okay, like people will come up and say that, we would ask as a brand, what are your concerns? Because we know that people around skincare have a lot of concerns. So, they would come and tell us that, okay, what do we do if we have acne? What do we do if we have blemishes? What if we have scars? And what do we do for healthy skin? And what that did was that we were engaging with our audience, getting them to a platform, talking to them about their problems and addressing the problem, which was conversion and sale. So for example, I would tell them that this is the product you need if you have acne. It will control your acne over time, etc., and has these ingredients. So you're educating the customer, you're giving them content, you're giving them context, and then they'll be like, oh my god, this brand cares and this brand is giving me a solution. So and then I'm going to stick around, and then if I have concerns later, they are also going to address it. This is something we did for the brand. This is something we do on Social Media Dissect also. If somebody has a question on, say, how to do something on Instagram, we don't leave that unread. We answer that. We say that, okay, this is how you do it, because then you're building a connection with somebody, and that person is going to stay long enough for you to grow on social media. So content and community, very important. The other thing that people don't focus on nowadays is collaborations. So what happens when you are on a platform but not engaging, not conversing, and not interacting with other people is that the platform thinks that you are just putting out content. just putting out content would work back in the day, but now just putting up content is not going to work. What you need to do is to create the content, obviously, and make sure that it's very good and interactive and people want to engage with it. But after that, what you need to concentrate on social media is to interact with other people, is to kind of ask questions. You have to listen to what the users are saying, answer their problem. And something that is working very well right now in the current scenario that I can tell you is collaborations. And this is across the board for if you are a brand, if you are visual, if you are trying personal branding, whatever it is. If you try to collaborate with somebody instead of thinking that that person is your competition, you will grow on social media. So for example, if I am a beautician and I give beauty services to people, hair, makeup, anything like that, then for me to reach out to an audience organically that is not mine, that I don't currently have on any social media platform, is to go out there and ask that person for a collaboration. What this does is, if you have the same amount of followers, if you have the same amount of community, that person would be exchanging their followers with you, and then you're growing on social media through that. There are accounts that we have seen across the board that only do collaborations and grow. So that we think is a great way of hacking your social media growth. Not a lot of people, not a lot of companies, they do that. They sit back and you think that okay, me posting content is going to work out on social media, but it doesn't. You have to go out there and engage and collaborate with a lot of people to be able to eventually grow on social media. That is collaborations. Now, for example, if you are a brand, again, very important for you to collaborate. How brands collaborate is that they obviously, like get in touch with influencers, because they have a large number of people that are following them that might be interested in the products that they are selling. So the brand will get in touch with influencers and try to get their audience to buy their products through their influencer marketing activity. If you are an individual, then for your personal brand, also get in touch with other people of different categories, of different accounts that kind of have the similar audience as you, because that makes the most sense, because then their audience is your potential audience. So to get that and to grow on social media, that is something that's very important. Just collaborate. There are various different ways of collaborating. You can do post exchange, where you basically feature on somebody else's post. You can do a lot of lives. You can do, now that lives are on every single platform, for Instagram specifically, you can do story takeovers and all of that, to exchange knowledge and to bring about a community that helps each other while collaborating with each other, instead of thinking that that person is your competition. And for example, if you see big fashion influencers, which is the market, most of the market, is you see that they talk about each other, they share each other's stuff on their pages, they mention each other, and that's their way of growing with each other's content. The other thing that I want to talk about is conversion. And what happens is, once you are doing all of these things and a lot of other different strategies, obviously, that you apply for social media, is that many people think that, oh my God, I'm going to have so many followers and it's all going to be good. But what are you going to do of so many followers is more important than getting those followers. So what the people that have been able to in the industry make a mark are the people that have taken their followers and taken their community and leveraged them for their business, for their sales, for their website visit, or whatever it is. So again, a very important thing to remember is that your goal, you have to set a goal and be like, okay, this is where I want to get to. So for example, if I was collecting a community of marketers where people are interested in marketing and marketing updates and what is happening with the brands, my eventual goal with them would be to convert them into leads and sales for me, obviously, because that's how you make a profitable business, by hacking social media. So what you need to do is understand that that is going to be your goal. If you want to be an influencer, okay, these are the streams of income that I want. I want to collaborate with with brands, or I want to do affiliate marketing, which is somebody else's product to your community for an amount of money. And there are several other ways also that you can make money, but you have to leverage that community that you have built to be able to eventually generate leads and sales and make it an effective business. Even if, for example, you are doing personal branding and you want to be known for something specifically. Say you are an artist and you like painting. If you want to be known as the painter, you put up your painting content enough, you need to go out there and you need to then eventually be like, okay, I'm going to sell my product. However, whatever way it is that you find out is the best for you. You want to do classes where you teach people how to paint. That's one way. If you want to get people to buy your painting, that is one way. It's very important to understand your eventual goal, because the journey before that would become much easier. And I'm telling you this with experience, because obviously through the years we've understood that putting out content is no good use if I'm not going to be able to leverage that into what my company, what the business,
Exactly.
what the brand wants. So that is an important aspect, is you convert them after you have built a community. And there, for example, also I with especially the young generation, they, you know, Instagram. What happens is that you have to or when you are just starting out as a marketer, also what people generally tend to make a mistake on is they join every single social media platform thinking that all of it is going to work. That does not happen, and that mostly does not work. So if you're on every single platform, your energy you're wasting by being on all of them. What you need to do if you're starting out is to find one or two or three max particular accounts or uh, um, social media platforms that you want to basically focus on. Once you find out that, okay, I want to be on that platform, master that platform, get an audience, leverage that audience, and then if eventually later on you shift to more platforms. But again, very important, don't be on every single. For example, if you are a professional, LinkedIn is great for you. If you are a mother, then LinkedIn is not great for you. So you need to find out what exactly your audience is on, what are the platforms that they are using, and stick to those platforms to be able to grow. For example, if you love gaming, there is this new app, I don't know if you guys know, it's called Twitch. And if you want to grow a community of video gamers, for example, then that's where you need to be. You know, you don't need to be on LinkedIn, you don't need to be on WhatsApp, you need to be on Twitch if you want to talk about video gaming. And that's how then you leverage that audience to be able to eventually convert for you.